Today, Universe Motorsports makes some left turns and some right turns. We have crossed over the sea into Japan, racing at the Okayama International Circuit in the global Mazda MX-5 cars. This is going to be a huge change of pace from what we're used to, racing ovals and, well, being pretty good at ovals as far as we're concerned. Will we be able to hold our own? We're going to have to just drive and see. For today's race, we're going to be racing number 9 GT Omega Racing Mazda MX-5.
Laps. Let's make them count. The track temp is 87. The air temp is 78 Fahrenheit. Are you ready? Go, go, go!
And we get a pretty decent start compared to the couple of the cars beside us. We got the red and blue car up there on the right-hand side, did not get a good jump at all. Everybody kind of clean getting into the first turn here.
They're still there. Clear right.
Side by side for a little bit going into turn 1, not too bad. We got the 11 that was kind of in the grass, gets over to the right and bumps into the 3 just a little bit. And we have a car around, the 2 cars
Stay
around.
right, clear to your left. I think turn 2.
Oh God, nowhere to
left
go,
side.
nowhere to go.
Hold your line. Car to your left.
Oh.
Hyper.
On your left. Left side
Okay,
clear.
and we took a hard shot. Oh man, I cannot steer this right now. Get out of the grass. Oh man, what mayhem right at the start there. 2 cars just spun out right in front of us, nowhere to go, and we bumped into at least 2 or 3 different cars. And something is not right. We cannot turn this car. I think the suspension is just completely gone on the left front. Wow. Oh, man, I'm struggling. Cannot get this car to turn at all.
Car left. You're clear left.
I hate to say it, guys, but I think we are completely out of this one. There's nobody behind us. I would not be trying this if there was somebody behind us. So let's see if we can limp this to the pits. The steering is just gone. Absolutely gone, even at low speed. I just cannot get this to turn. We're just going to have to pull over and get it towed back to the pit. Man, what a start to this race. That was ridiculous. And now we have to wait a minute just to tow. So what happened here, we have the 2 car that dive bombed onto the 12, spins him out and spins himself out right in front of the entire field trying to get by, and we have nowhere to go. Gets into the yellow and silver car right there. We seem to be okay here, and then somebody trying to avoid another car ended up hitting us and just destroyed our left front. On board with the number 12 car, who was again in second place to start the race, gets dive bombed and just clipped by the 2. Could not control it, and everybody spins out. Oh, and he gets slammed into the front, and somebody loses their bumper. A couple cars actually got missing pieces everywhere. Now this is our left front suspension. Let's see how bad of a hit this took. Took us out of the race, so this must be a significant amount of damage here. Oh, that hit right there really pushes up our fender, but the wheel seems to be okay, and that was just the final kill shot right there with that other car hitting our left front wheel. It is barely attached. Unable to steer at all. Wow. What a fail of a start to race this was. That's ridiculous. All right, and the required repairs are going to be just too long, so we are going to have to DNF from this race, unfortunately. We're going to finish in 11th place out of, I think, 13 cars that started this. That was a disappointing first lap, but you always got to be wary of the first lap in these type of races. But we're going to pretend that didn't even happen at all. Magically, we're going to fly back from Japan over back into Connecticut at Lime Rock Park. Let's try another road race, but this time let's make sure that we can actually get through turn 1, lap 1. Now, these cars are extremely light. This is the closest thing we have to a go-kart in iRacing, so this is going to be really quite interesting, especially coming from the Mazda that we just raced for, what, half a lap? And we're going to be racing the number 11 Evolution Sim Racing 1600.
Minutes. You'll need to get on with this. 7th position. Here we go. Green, green, green.
All right off the start, the number 4 car to our left had a false start, so that's a free position for us. He's going to have to serve that penalty. And with no cautions in this race, there's no way he's going to come back from that. Getting kind of loose right off the bat here, and we're very close to the 4 car to our left side. Into this turn, and we both get a little bit sideways, getting a little bit loose at the same point, and we're able to save it at the exact same time as well. That was really something, but that's going to put a gap between the top 5 cars and us. Now he's looking to our right side.
Still there.
And he's going to back off a bit, feeding into the chicane here.
Okay, let's find a good rhythm. Make some places.
Absolutely, we need to get into a rhythm. We're going to try to put that Mazda race behind us and just focus on clean laps as the 4 just spins it right behind us. Now it's going to open up even more of a gap behind us, so we're not going to have to worry about that too much. And we get a huge run onto the car in front of us. One car into the grass to the left side. Oh my god, I can't believe we avoided that. And I get a 1X just because I cut the grass. That sucks. But hey, I'll take that better than a 4X or T-boning him.
P5.
Oh man. Alright, interesting first lap. But hey, we finished this first lap. We were able to avoid any kind of conflict. Says more than we did for that last race. I love this track. It's really fun to nail the track here, getting clean laps. Again, I'm just trying to get used to this car. Again, this is the closest thing to a go-kart we have, so every turn, it's just different than the last time. Some turns are tighter than others, and some turns the car just wants to spin. It's really quite interesting. But you don't want to hit any of these curbs, which just those few turns at the beginning there, I was hitting the curbs just trying to feel out the car. A little bit too far away from the line in that turn. Really tight there, but carrying a little bit too much speed into there. Next time by, I'm going to have to try to loosen it up, or lighten up my braking getting into there.
10 minutes to go. That's 10 minutes left. The leader's just done a 57.7.
Alright, kind of spread out here. I don't mind a little bit of a gap just to feel the car out and get into a rhythm. Car in front of us locks up just a bit. And we have one guy off into the grass trying to get back on.
Clear left.
And now he's behind us. That's another free spot. I think that was the leader. If not the leader, that was the second place guy, but I'm pretty sure that was the leader. Just went off into the grass, now behind us. This is my favorite part of the track right here, just into the chicane. Sector 2, I think, is my favorite part, my best part. Again, with the chicane, I can hit that pretty clean, pretty quick, more than some of these other guys so far. And this turn, if I can nail it correctly, I am super fast. And then into the final turn here, coming out onto the straightaway. Again, if I can nail it here. Better than the first lap. Not as good as the second lap, but we're able to nail it. Gives us somewhat of a fast lap here.
That's the fastest lap of the race. The guy ahead has just done a 58.0.
And apparently that was also the fastest lap of the race so far. Not bad. I will not be putting up fast laps if I keep hitting that curb, though. We got to make sure we're not getting onto the curbs at all, especially with this light of a car. Kind of got a little bit loose entering the turn there, like it did on the first lap. The last lap, it was a little bit tight. So, again, trying to hit these turns consistently with this car is going to be a task for us.
The gap to Reed behind is now 0.8.
God damn it, I hit that curb again. But we absolutely nailed that turn. That was a good one right there.
The leader has just done a 57.2. The gap to Korea ahead is now 0.7. Your last lap time was a 57.9.
Alright, right now we're in 4th place. Not a bad position to be in at all, especially where we started in 7th and a little bit of the kind of back and forth that we had at the beginning. One car off into the grass and everything, so we're able to, again, avoid any kind of calamity. Looking behind us, the car that went off to the grass is actually right behind us, and he's catching up to us just a little bit. Sector 1 is not my best sector at all, and I think that's where he's going to be best at. And it seems to be a little bit under braking he can catch us, but I'm able to take off getting through the chicane there, adding back onto the gap that we initially had. Now, if we're adding onto the gap behind us, that must mean we're catching a car in front of us, which we are just slightly. He did have a bad exit off of that chicane. I think he hit the last 2 curbs there, and we get a little bit into the grass. Car gets a little bit free on me getting out. Now we're really catching up to the 3rd place guy. We nicked the curb just a little bit, and that sends us into the grass and gives us another 1X, so now we have 2X.
We've been warned about track limits.
I understand.
Fastest lap for Roy, 57.1.
Don't get mad at me, crew chief.
The guy behind has just done a 57.2. We're halfway home. We're okay on fuel. Roy is now in the lead.
Wow, the guy in front of us got right up onto the curb and in turn 1. I'm surprised he saved it as well as he did. But the 2 car who was the leader goes off into the grass in the same spot that the other guy did. Pushes it too hard into that turn. And maybe we could try to leapfrog him here, get around him, but he's got kind of a fast car. Impressive, actually, coming off of the grass the way he did. Still able to hold that. Now I don't want to push too hard, and as I say that, I just nicked the 2 curbs, which ruins my run here. But I don't want to push it too hard because I don't want this guy behind us really getting around us. 4th place is good, and if these guys in front of us keep making mistakes...
It's all over you. Keep your exit speeds up. Stay smooth.
Kind of like I just did by hitting that curb. I'm not going to be able to keep my exit speed up if I keep hitting the curb. But again, I'm nailing that last turn pretty good. Car in front of us is now going to gain the slipstream on the car in front of him. He's going to pull to the right on him now. So gains that's one of the spots back that he lost going in the grass, and he just cooks it, gets too tight getting into the turn, and he overshoots it. And the 12 car almost gets around him again.
Hurry up.
That 2 car is defending pretty well, but the 12 is able to get his nose under there, and so is the car behind us.
Still there. Hold your line. Still there. Clear left.
Don't give up. Keep him under pressure.
Each turn on each lap has been really different as far as like trying to understand what the car is going to do. So I'm trying not to be side by side as much as I can, especially being spread out right now as well as we are.
The gap is now 0.2.
I would like to keep it that way, so that way we can, tackle people one by one here if we can even get back up to these leaders. So the 2 cars that went off into the grass, they are very quick. They must have just had some hiccups.
That's a new fastest lap for Roy, 57.1. P5, that lap time was 58.3.
Oh, speaking of that, the guy that just got around us, he spins it right into turn 1. Kind of a half spin. He saves it a little bit, but we are able to clear him easy, and so is, I was going to say 6th place, but it doesn't look like 6th place is really getting around him. They might be fighting now.
The guy in front has just done a 57.1 P4.
All right, tires are going away on us now towards the end of this race. We're very tight getting under braking. We have quite the gap in front of us, but also quite the gap behind us. The 2 cars behind us are going to battle, so that's going to help keep that gap open. And speaking of that battle, it's the 8 car trying to get around the 7, using different lanes, trying to peek under him in each turn, and now that 7 defending is going to have a poor entry into most of these turns. A shallow entry into some of these turns, that is, and the 8 will probably benefit getting out, but he takes the defensive line, getting into the chicane. The 8's not going to be able to do it. We got a 3rd car entering into the fray here, so again, this is going to benefit us to keep our position. Nobody's going to really catch up to us. I hope not, unless I screw up and hit these curbs constantly. Again, it's his last turn, and the 3rd car that was getting into the fray takes another half spin. Into the grass he goes out of that battle, and the 8 car is going to slipstream right to the side of the 7 car. Got quite the battle here for 5th place. We're a little bit loose under braking in that turn. See what I mean? The car is just very different in each turn. Now we have a 4-second gap to the cars behind us. This is just going to grow. The more these guys keep fighting. 7 still holding kind of a defensive line getting into the chicane. But 8 really doesn't have a move to try to play out here. So he's just going to follow in line here. Has a better chicane than that 7 did, but just doesn't hold up his speed getting through there. All right, a lap later, the 7 has separated from the 8 quite a bit, but the 7 has a terrible exit coming out of that turn, clips the grass just a little bit, and that brings the 8 right back up to him. 7 is going to try to defend, getting into the chicane once again. 8 is keeping the pressure on. 8 has a much better chicane that time than the 7 did. 7 hit the curb a couple times. 8 is going to peek out to the left side, but he's not able to have enough speed to really get his nose in there. If he can keep the pressure on, that 7 is just going to mess up at some point. The 8's going to be able to get it. He's slipstreaming him all the way down the straightaway here. Pulls to the left again, side by side. Now we're on to the last lap. The front 4 cars, including us in 4th place, are all separated. There's not a lot of battles going on, though, but the 7 and 8 are having the best battle on track out of everybody on track. 7 defending in each and every turn. The 8 is looking for any possible exit speed he can get. In the 7, it just doesn't know where to block. He tries to block the bottom line, tries to block the left side lane, the outside lane of those turns. I think the 8 is really biding his time here, trying to see where he's better than him, and I think he's better in the chicane, and he is, because the 7 just hit 2 out of the 3 curbs again, and 8's going to have a massive run right up to the 7. 7 blocks the inside, goes back out to the outside and blocks him again. Coming down to the last 2 turns, the 8 car is running out of options here. into the final turn. 8's gonna get a little bit lower than the 7, gonna get into his slipstream. He's gonna pull to the right side this time, side by side, wheel to the checkered flag. Who's gonna get this? I don't even know who got this between the 7 and the 8. And it looks like the 8 car gets him by 6/1000ths of a second. That's like half the cone of the nose, if that. Well, that was a good race overall. I mean, better than the Mazda series that we had at the beginning where we did half a lap, if that. This was really quite a good race. We finished 4th and we only gained a little bit, but hey, we lost quite a bit from the Mazda series in both safety rating and iRating. So having a steady, easy-going race where we can finish in 4th without a lot of battles, that helps us with our iRating that we had lost. That was a good battle between the 7 and the 8 car behind us. Really quite impressive. Left us by our lonesome, but I'll take it. 4th place is not a bad finish for us in this car that I have no experience in. I really appreciate you tuning into this race. If you liked it, feel free to give a like and a subscribe if you would like to see more of these types of races. We tried something different, going left and right. I do like road racing. Oval, I think, is where I'm best at. But hey, worth the shot. This was a good race. I appreciate you tuning in. Till next time.